Hey guys, Redneck Mini 14 here. Today we're going to talk about the Ruger 1022 and why I think it makes the perfect squirrel rifle. I've done a few videos on why a certain gun or a certain type of gun makes the perfect gun in a certain category, and today we're going to talk about squirrel rifles. So up here we have my girlfriend's 1022 Sporter that I got her for Christmas. And I pretty much just set it up so that we could go squirrel hunting together, and I thought that this was a really good setup. So you have a 1022 with a nice Sporter stock, had sling swivels already on it, so I put a nice cheap sling that I got off of Amazon on it, and just a really simple sling, nothing fancy. Got a True Glow, I want to say this is a 32 millimeter 4-power scope, just a basic 22 rimfire scope that I got from Rural King, and it's a nice little scope. It is accurate. I did sight it in, and it is a very accurate scope and a very accurate rifle. And what I think makes the 1022 the perfect squirrel rifle, or just the perfect small game rifle, is the scope base that I put on it, and it is a see-through scope base, so it's basically a tunnel, and you can see the iron sights with it and use the iron sights for a squirrel that's within like 20 yards or something. I think that's ideal. I've never actually gone squirrel hunting before, but I have gone deer hunting with rifles that I didn't have the use of iron sights because they either didn't have iron sights or because the iron sights were not usable because of the scope. And I've had deer run so close to me like I could almost touch them, probably like 10 yards away or less, and I couldn't shoot the deer because I couldn't find it in the scope, and I just didn't have enough time to find it in the scope and shoot the deer. So in the future I want to have something with the option of having iron sights as well as a scope. That way you have all of your bases covered. And I wanted to do the same thing with squirrel hunting, or just a small hunting rifle in general. So that's why I set her rifle up the way that I did, and I decided that I liked that setup so much that I would get my own. So I have my 1022 stainless steel with the laminate wood stock. This was I think it was a Lipsy's distributor exclusive 1022. Very nice rifle, if I do say so myself. I have a basic Barska Plinker 22 scope, 4x32, same as that one up there as far as the power goes. And they do make this in an adjustable version, but this is the one that was on sale, and actually I think it was the only one that was in stock, because I think they're roughly the same price. They're like a $5 price difference for the adjustable, like the 3 to 9 or whatever, or the 4 to 9, or whatever the adjustable scope power is. It's only like a $5 difference, but I went with the basic fixed power scope. And the see-through scope mount is an NC Star 1022 Picatinny style see-through optic rail. Generation 2, there's a Generation 1. The original company that I bought that one from sent me a Generation 1, and it sucks. I didn't order a Generation 1, I ordered a Generation 2. So I sent them an email, got a refund, and they didn't even want it back. And I actually got this one from Optics Planet. And it's not that expensive. I want to say it's like $8, $10. So not that expensive. It comes with all your hardware, and it basically just mounts to the top of the receiver with your 4 screws that come, or that are plugged in the 1022 receiver. So that's just a nice little scope rail there, and I got some Weaver style rings. These are AIM Sports. I forget, I want to say these were from, I guess they were from Amazon. I don't remember. But those are the rings I got. Oh wait, actually they were from Combat Hunting, the same place where I got this scope that sent me the Generation 1 or the Generation 1 rail is what I'm trying to say. So same company that I got the original rail. So, and you need Weaver style rings with this mount because the scope that I got was just the dovetail style rings that came with it, so you got to take those off and put the better rings on. And of course we need a nice sling. So this was actually a 2-pack. I got a black sling and a green sling off of Amazon. And this one does not come with sling swivels, so I had to get some Uncle Mike's sling swivels, like, you know, $5, $10. Forget how much those were. Not that expensive. And one thing I liked about this distributor exclusive is it came with sling swivel studs installed. So now we're just going to take my 1022 and dress it up just like my girlfriend's 1022. Alright guys, there it is, all finished. The one thing that I will say about this setup versus the other setup is that the rings that I chose for this one have a lot of screws in them. There are 6 screws per each ring for a total of 12, and if you add that to the 4 screws that you have in the rail, that's a lot of screws. It's 16 screws, so you got to loosen up, tighten back up, and then go around and put Loctite on all of them. Versus on that one, you only had 3 screws per ring, so you didn't have that many screws in that one. This one, you have a bunch, and it just took a long time and dropped the Allen wrench quite a few times. But anyway, I finally have it all together. It is a longer scope than the other rifle, which doesn't really matter, but it's just a longer scope. And looks like I have to adjust the sling just a little bit to get it to be a nice tight fit for slinging it over your shoulder or wrapping it around your arm for nice steady rest. So I'll have to adjust that just a little bit more, but it's not too bad as it sits right now. So that's my, I guess you could say his and her Squirrel rifles. Mine is the 1022 stainless, Lipsy's distributor exclusive, and then I have my girlfriend's, which is just a basic 1022 sporter. So a little nicer than just your basic 1022 carbine. And with the setup that I have on each of them, they make for what I would consider to be the perfect squirrel rifle. So can't wait to take this one out and sight that scope in and then take it out for some squirrel hunting and see how many squirrels we can bag. So subscribe to my channel, like me on Facebook. I'm Redneck Mini 14, and until next time, be safe.